Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Market Insights with Linux, and welcome to this new video and this weekly update here on Tesla. We're going to do a full update. Wanted to speak briefly upon some fundamentals surrounding the entire stock market, but also about the robo-taxi launch of Tesla. My thoughts on that and what types of effect that can have on the price, but ultimately we'll focus on the technicals. I mean, I'm a very much a believer that, having an understanding of the fundamentals, having an understanding of the news, having an understanding of what's going on with these companies that you're analyzing, or with the entire stock market, like it certainly helps. However, ultimately everything is reflected in price, right? So that is also what we'll focus on. So let's get right into it now. A brief recap of the video I did last week. If you watched that video, we were 100% correct, right? That was, I think, on, when did I upload it? Monday or Tuesday. And what I said is that I thought it was most likely we would see some stability right here, some consolidation, and then later on a breakout and a continuation higher within the same area, because and that is what happened so far. So that's where we that's where we left off, and that's also where we continue with the new analysis. But that is ultimately, it's all within the same higher time frame range, right? So ultimately, it wasn't that hard to predict. I think mostly when we're talking about fundamentals, mostly general stock market fundamentals have caused this, which obviously yesterday with the de-escalation in the Middle East, that pushed prices higher, and it has left some imbalances to the downside, and we'll touch upon that. But that's in combination potentially with the robo-taxi launch, because I think that launch was priced in to a certain extent. And I think developments and innovations like that are more priced in over time rather than with one big move or on one time frame, right? And over time, I think Tesla is actually doing quite well, because if we zoom out here, you can see that Tesla, after the breakout right here, Friday the 9th of May, and after the respecting of the breakout and the main support level right here between 300 and 290, which in my opinion is one of the most important key levels, we have really solidified the position of Tesla within this value area between, like I said, 290 to the downside, and then to the upside, this area right here between 370 and 400, which is our main resistance level. And Tesla being situated in that balance is already a major improvement from the majority of 2024. The majority of 2024 stretching all the way back to July 2023, and you can go back even more. We were consolidating lower, right? So the fact that Tesla is now trading higher, the fact that Tesla has solidified its position higher as well in terms of structure, I think is good news already. But then we have to ask ourselves the question, all right, well, we have stability a little bit higher, but is there any reason to suspect a continued uptrend? And that, in my opinion, is not the case. Not only because I think that something like the robotaxi has already been priced in, or if it still needs to price in more, that will happen over time. But also, if we take a look at the general stock markets right here, they're at a major resistance level, which under the current fundamentals, I'm not sure if we can break that. And Tesla itself, also on the lower time frames, seems more keen to stay within the range right here, also given the rejection right here at 355, which is a local resistance, rather than to break out higher. So that is also what I'm going to go with right now. Now, like I said, there's some imbalances down here. 335, 330 is our main support level intraday, so I think we're going to drop down into that. Fundamentally, I expect stability, right? So this is assuming fundamental stability. If we get some de-escalation in the Middle East again, we can still drop down into that level around 300 again. But for now, I expect stability, and then I do think that we can rally higher into 365, 375, maybe even higher into 400. But that seems unlikely right now, and I do think that's the cap to the upside for now under the current circumstances and the current technicals. Now, if that changes, and either way, next week I will be back with a new update, so keep your eyes out for that, and consider subscribing if you're interested in that. But that is what I would say is most likely, given not only the technicals here, but also taking into account the fundamentals, the time of the year, with summer coming up right here, and where the general stock market is trading right now. In combination with whether we can expect Tesla to outperform that, yes or no. And at this point of time, I would say no. But those are my thoughts. Hopefully that helps. But that's it for now. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.